Yo guys, what is going on? So today's video is finally the Q&A video from the 500 sub Q&A giveaway, and I know it's supposed to be actually out a week ago because I was giving it about 2 weeks, but I was busy this last week with work and stuff. But then the last few days I've been streaming over on Twitch. It's been a lot of fun, and if you guys are into that type of stuff, definitely be sure to stop by. I'm gonna try and stream Dokin every now and again, but Bleach has just been a real grind lately, so I've been streaming quite a bit of that, and it's been a lot of fun. So for those of you who've come out, I really do appreciate that. But yeah, so that's what I'm kind of busy with, but finally putting out the Q&A video, as well as the giveaway part of the video will be its own separate video, so it's a little more organized, and you guys know what you're looking for, so just be on the lookout for that. It'll be out the day after this, so just so you guys know. But anyways, like I said, I'm doing the Q&A video now, so let's just get right into the questions. Alright guys, so the first question from Trey Got That Game: do you think there'll be a card in Dokin that can go further than an LR? I think that maybe down the line, like way later in the future, if depending on how the content's going, and you know, especially with Dragon Ball Super being a thing right now, that I don't think they're gonna be running out of content anytime soon. But you know, if they want to start sort of changing things up there, you know, like how when they introduced the LR, maybe they could introduce something further than that, but I don't think they'll introduce anything until way later down the line, because I think they still have a lot of potential for LRs, and for how frequently that they are releasing them, I think they've got a ways to go before they do anything to consider, you know, making a card that can Dokin further. Our next question by Opinion Not Fact: who do you think will be the next LR, and what is your favorite card in general in Dokin? I would say the next LR first, I think, would be probably either, you know, it could be, I've heard people saying something about Final Form Frieza or Full Power Frieza being the next card, which we already do have a First Form Frieza, so if they do bring that around, I guess that is sort of showing that, hey, we can go back and do other characters, that they have different transformations and stuff. And because the whole Frieza thing did kind of throw it off a little bit, thinking, well, if they would ever release a Frieza, it would probably be, you know, the, you know, Final Form or Full Power Form, but unfortunately they didn't do that. And, you know, I think with Frieza it is a little bit different because his first form is still so significant to the series, so it kind of made sense in a way. But as far as the next LR would go, if it's not Full Power Frieza or Final Form Frieza, I would think it would have to be Cell, and that's where I'm thinking they could potentially do a first form Cell, but my argument against that would be he's just not as significant, because it's the perfect Cell that, you know, really made a statement with the series. So I think that if they were to release a Cell, it would probably be the perfect Cell, and I think that will honestly be the next card more likely than not. Alright, the next question by DFrizzle27. Congrats on 500 subs. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Been on the channel for quite a bit, so I do appreciate the support. My question is, who do you think will be the next card in or who's the best card in Dokin that can't Dokin Awaken? I think the best card, I mean, it's hard for me to decide what the best card is. I think, at least as far as the card that I want most to Dokin Awaken, are all of the Super Saiyan God Gokus, and we already have seen that the God Goku and the physical one, I believe, are both getting Dokin Awakens or Rebirths, whatever you want to go with. I think it's just what, both Dokin Awakenings, because I know people have different definitions for them. But as far as that goes, I think the other God Gokus would be insane to see, the AGL and the Strength one, considering those are like a couple of the best ones, and you know, the Strength one especially, like, he's such a beast. But I would definitely have to say that if those don't get a Dokin Awaken, I mean, I don't know who else. Like, definitely let me know who you guys would think that, for that question, because yeah, I'm trying to think. I can't really think of a good, like a solid character that it's like, this guy needs to get a Dokin Awaken right now, because now the God Gokus are getting Dokin Awakens, so at least those two. So, you know, hopefully when we see a potential Tech Super Saiyan God Goku, which I think is kind of a for sure thing at this point, I'm not, you know, 100% certain, but I can only assume that they would be making that. So by the time he drops, I'm assuming that they would drop the other two and Dokin Awaken them. So who knows, though, we'll have to see. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on that one. All right, the next question comes from Bob Dragon. What are you studying in school? Right now, I'm actually studying accounting, and before this, I was actually, this has been probably the last like year or so, I've been studying accounting. But before that, my first few years in college, I was studying computer graphics technology, and the reason I stepped away from that was because I was kind of hoping to go into a bit of designing and stuff, and my brother's in it right now, and I probably should have asked him a little more about what's going on with it, but it just was kind of a little bit overwhelming, but it was sort of a bit annoying as well, that as I went into it, I was learning so many different things, but I wasn't getting something that I absolutely wanted or needed. And it was kind of annoying to be like, oh yeah, I'm learning about how to program a website or how to program just other regular things, which those can kind of coincide, but then I'm learning, you know, about designing and stuff, and I'm like, you can put some of these things together, and like learning a little bit of everything is nice, but I wish I could have learned all of one thing, or at least gone to a different path later on. Like there are, you know, colleges that have degrees specifically for animation, and you learn the things that are important to animation, which is something that I really want to strive in with school, is that I want to learn something that'll actually mean something to me. That's my biggest gripe about school, is that a lot of it is not like that. And unfortunately, that's why I ended up switching over, and I figured, you know, if I do anything with designing, animating, or anything like that, I can do a lot of that and learn a lot of that in my free time, honestly. And, you know, if that happens, if something becomes of that, awesome. If not, it's just something for fun for me to do on the side. But as of now, I think it's just better for me to go to accounting, because I like numbers, I like math, and it's a well-paying job, so it'll just benefit me in the long run in terms of that. Next question by Design Bark. Do you watch any sports such as basketball, football, soccer, etc.? I actually do watch quite a bit of basketball. If you guys follow me on Twitter, you guys know that I watch a lot of basketball, and I've been following, you know, my favorite team, the Mavericks, since 03-04, the last year that Steve Nash was on there. And I apologize if I'm putting out any references, names, or teams, or anything you guys don't know of, but you know, just kind of explain a little bit more about myself in that case. But yeah, I really do love basketball, love the sport, and you know, I try and play it as often as I can, because I have actually a court near me. One of my neighbors has built a court, you know, pretty solid court in their backyard, and they let people go over and stuff like that, so that's fun to do. But other than that, I do watch a bit of soccer. I've been watching the last few years. Nothing too much that I'm into. You know, I don't have a favorite team or anything like that. I have some favorite players, but as far as it goes, just a great experience watching. And sometimes they do have events in Chicago, like once a year, where they bring top talent teams over, and it's kind of fun to see that. And I've gone the last couple of years, so maybe hopefully if they bring another game there again, I will be going to that, and maybe I'll vlog it or something, I don't know. But it was a lot of fun the last couple of years, and hopefully I could just go again. But yeah, it would be basketball and soccer. Next question by Jay Fanta. Who's your favorite free-to-play Australian YouTuber? Well, the only free-to-play Australian YouTuber I know, Jay Fanta. Yeah, if you guys don't know, actually, he just hit 400 subscribers, so be sure to congratulate him. Go ahead over there. He makes a lot of free-to-play content. He's great overall. You know, he's a great person, so definitely be sure to check him out. I'll actually leave his link down in the description. Yeah, like I said, definitely check him out if you guys are into that free-to-play content. It's great. Alright, so the next question by Finesse Music. What anime would you like to cross over in Dokin? I would have to say probably Bleach, Naruto, or Fairy Tail. And the reason I say those is because if you guys don't know, they actually did a crossover of One Piece already, because they, I think it was just more for like a special event thing they had. And they actually did an anime version of where they crossed over Dragon Ball, One Piece, and like one other anime, I forgot what it was called. But they crossed them over, and I think that's why they did the crossover with the One Piece Treasure Cruise game. But I figured because we do have other mobile games with other, you know, popular animes, that why not see them have a crossover? I think it would be something interesting to throw in there, and it would be kind of fun to see. But as far as I know, I think those are like the three notable ones. Anything else, I'm not really too sure. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know. I remember one of my friends was telling me, he's like, what about Kuroko no Basket, man? But obviously that would make no sense at all, so I don't know, maybe, you never know. But yeah, I would think Bleach, Naruto, or Fairy Tail would probably be the best three. Your opinion on the global Goku Black versus the JP Goku Black. So as far as that goes, the question's by Ricardo Tabuada, by the way. I apologize also if I butchered that name. But as far as that question goes, I think I'm going to answer it more in a different way, just more of like the way Global took it versus the way JP took it. And JP, I think, you know, they're just their own thing, honestly. Global is just piggybacking off of JP in the sense that they're kind of, you know, putting out what JP puts out. That's kind of what they have to do. They have to follow a line. And I think the fact that Global can't follow a simple line, because you guys have known that Global has just been dead for a while. They just released the Goku Black event, but even that, it's, you know, and then they have the 100 million or the 150 million for us, the ticket banner coming out. But just for things like that, I think it's a bit ridiculous that, you know, they can't follow a simple line, that they keep kind of diverting or just going super slow instead of trying to pick it up and be like, let's just throw things out there. They are starting to speed things up and give things like, I think the dupe system's coming out soon, which apparently now is like, oh, it's coming out before, like, you know, I think they had it after Rose and Blue Vegito and like right before the Strength Cell came out, and now we're getting it well before that because, you know, they're just trying to speed it up. And I think that's what Global is doing with Goku Black, trying to give him that extra ability to sort of kind of sweeten things up. Like, hey, we're going to make changes to the game and make you want to go to Global because, like, the characters might be better or something. If they continue on that path, if it's only for Goku Black or, like, very specific characters, it's going to be a little stupid. But hopefully they keep going on with other characters, make some changes. If not, at least speed the game up a little bit and give us our content, you know, within a good time frame, and not like, oh yeah, we're going to give it to you like a year later, and then now, you know, we'll speed it up. And it's just kind of, I really hope that they can start following the freaking line, or at least speeding up on the line at some point. So I don't know, that's my thoughts on that, at least maybe when it comes to more global and JP in a more broad spectrum. Next question by SonicFan78. How long did it take you to master Yu-Gi-Oh? And do you have any tips on how to get better at it? I think with that, as far as that goes, I definitely have never mastered Yu-Gi-Oh! I've mastered how to play the game in terms of, like, obviously the rules and stuff like that. There's one thing about timing that's always a bitch to understand, but other than that, you know, the game is not too hard to understand in that entirety. When it comes to the actual gameplay itself, like trying to learn the strategies and stuff, I'm definitely not the best at it. That's just a lot of things I've picked up from other people that I've seen, and that's one thing I think with anything, whether it's Yu-Gi-Oh, Dokin, any other game that you play, it's like, try and look at other people, see what they're doing, and try and, like, you know, just try and see what their strategy is, why they would use certain cards, and, you know, I guess just try and get more of a feel for, you know, what certain cards can do. It's really based on just your kind of ideal situation of, like, you know, what can I do to try and prevent certain situations. You always want to look at weaknesses and the best ways to prevent certain weaknesses with your deck when you're building it anyways, and I don't know, there's a lot of things that go into it. I could kind of go on and on about it, even though I'm still not the best at it. You know, I could still say so many different things about it, but yeah, I mean, I've definitely not mastered Yu-Gi-Oh! As far as that goes, and for tips on how to get better at it, I would just say watch other people and definitely try and see, like, strategies and stuff like that and what they have done, and even ask around, like, through forums and YouTube comments and stuff like that, because people are, you know, some people are generous enough to help you out, and I think that it will very much help out in the long run if you're considering to take Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot more seriously. Alright, next question by Andres. I want to step up and finally start YouTube, but I'm scared of criticism. I want to be my own person, come out of a shell made of distrust and discomfort. Of course, people have their own opinions, but I've said many things and received hate. How do I step above that and hold my head up high and look towards the future? I guess my best way to dissect that question, I'm trying to understand, I think, is just you want to start YouTube, but you're kind of scared of the criticism and what you want, like, how you're going to handle that, I guess, as far as I can read. Hopefully, if I understand that correctly. But, and then you're saying, of course, people have their own opinions, but I've said many things and received hate. With criticism on YouTube, it's very hard, especially nowadays, because I think in the last few years, it's definitely ramped up a lot with how critical people are, and you know, you want to take criticism in certain ways. If people are just being critical of certain things that you have done in certain ways, you got to be able to understand, like, the context that they're giving it to you. If people are just straight up giving you hate, and you're kind of afraid of that, and people just sort of hating on what you're doing, or any part of your YouTube, or, you know, your videos or anything like that, you know, a lot of other YouTubers just like, oh, you just got to get past it, don't worry, because you have people who support you, and that is true to some extent, but it's still hard, especially starting early off, to see people like that, because, you know, it's just hard, because, you know, a lot of the comments, you're not going to get so many. I think with them it's easier because they're getting so many more overwhelming comments that are, you know, pushing down the hate. And, you know, even though they still might see those hate comments, it's like they can ignore it because they're like, I know that they're just a very small minority, and obviously they're either just misunderstanding or they're just not a fan of the content. But, you know, when it comes to the smaller YouTubers, it's like when you don't get too many comments, you know, like I would say until you get like maybe 1,000+ comments or something like that, maybe less than that, but until you get enough comments that it's like, it's going to start looking a bit different to you, and, you know, you're going to start seeing that hate still. And to get above that, I mean, you just, I guess the only thing I can say is just try and push towards it. You know, hopefully just try and look for constructive criticism. The way you kind of reply to them and the way you say things, just don't try and be too aggressive and make it seem like your opinion is fact, because that's what a lot of people try and do sometimes, and that's what can kind of turn around things. And as far as receiving hate, that could just be how people perceive things as far as your opinion goes. And I know a lot of people will say, oh, well, my opinion, or your opinion sucks, mine is fact. Then, you know, if somebody says something like that, you know, you always kind of want to try and start a constructive argument, but if they start doing things like that and just try and argue you because they think your opinion is wrong and doesn't matter, then there's no reason to talk to them, and you kind of know what kind of person they are from there. But as far as handling it, I mean, that's just the best way I could put it. If you still have anything, just let me know down in the comments. I'll try and help you out the best I can, but, you know, I'm not too great of a person to help out with those types of things, because I'm not like a psychiatrist or have that type of mindset or anything, but it's just the best type of advice I could give, so hopefully that helps. Alright, next question by JaJuan Scott. What has been your luckiest summon in your opinion? Trying to say what my luckiest summon would be. I'm trying to think what would be considered the luckiest. I don't know. Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks is kind of one of the first ones that come to mind. I managed to pull that over on Nietzsche's channel. I guess trying to think of maybe in like the shortest amount of stones and stuff like that, or YOLO summons and things like that. I've managed to pull like I think a full power freeze off, a random single, or I don't know if I was actually doing a summoning video for that. Broly, I remember I pulled the physical Broly during one of Nietzsche's streams, which, yeah, Nietzsche gives me a lot of luck sometimes. He definitely helps out with that. And then otherwise, during the Super Saiyan 4 banner, when those were out, I actually managed to pull Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta off the bat. Like, my first multi on that banner, I managed to pull him. I think I did a couple before on the Goku one, because I really wanted Goku more, but I managed to pull Vegeta off my first multi, so I would have to say Vegeta, I guess, Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta, but if not, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, as far as I know. Unless some of you guys know and have watched it long enough that you guys would think and have some other suggestion, let me know, but those are probably the best two that I can think right now. All right, next question by Das Mamu. Who is cooler, King Cold or Freezer? I'm trying to think of like the best comical way to answer this, but realistically, I don't know. I guess King Cold, because he is the king of the cold. You can never beat the king of the cold. I guess Frieza, you know, he's the emperor, but, you know, King Cold being his father, I don't know. I guess King Cold. I'm trying to think like the best way to answer that, but that's probably the best that you'll get out of me. Okay, Philip Jing, what do you think about Bandai doing movie villains for the future new God tier leader? Strongly hinted at with the new special items sold in the 60 Stones pack Movie Scroll 1. I think that is definitely an interesting concept, and I don't know if they're going to be doing movie villains specifically. I think they could, if they do like the whole villain side of things. I'm curious if they're going to be releasing like heroes for the types and then villains for those types. So like however they do that, I think that it would definitely be interesting to see though if they do continue that path. And I think I was going to say for the heroes, they'd be doing movie characters as well, but I'm not too sure on that. But you never know. So we already do have all of our leads except our Int lead right now. And kind of speculation on that could be Super 17 for whatever reason. I don't know. That's what I think it could be. If not, though, I think he will be one of them if they do like the extreme side of all the hero leads that we don't have yet, like you know, with Cooler, or not the Cooler, but like the Super Saiyan 4s and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, like maybe do like a reverse of that, be like, oh yeah, let's make villains for each type, and then like Super 17 doesn't have to be in, but you know, Super 17 would be in there somewhere. So I don't know, I think it is definitely an interesting thing that they are doing that, and it's definitely a unique concept, and I actually never caught that before till reading this comment, so that's definitely something very, you know, very perceptive for you to, you know, figure that out, so it's definitely cool. Alright, next question by Talkative Panda Jr. What's your favorite color? I would probably have to say blue, just because, you know, I like a lot of things that are blue. My favorite basketball team is blue as well. I really like Mega Man a lot, he's blue. Sonic is blue. I use quite a bit of blue in my designing because I like how it works with a lot of the different shades, so shockingly, I would have to say blue. Alright, next question by Valley Xenoverse, which by the way, just noticed the icon change. I think that's from that new I think it's PS4 exclusive Nier Automata, which, you know, if it is, let me know. But he says, are you going to do dual summons with Speedy? I don't know. I'll have to ask him because I know he's been a little bit reluctant on spending money on stones because, you know, it's just he doesn't want to because he's saving up for other things. So I don't know, because he has dropped a little bit when it came to JP, just his last few dual summons. So I don't know. We'll have to see. But you know, if anything does happen in the future, like with, let's say, Rose or Vegito, or if anything comes out in JP, or with maybe the ticket banner, I don't know, we'll have to see. I'll have to hit him up and know, but as for right now, I'm not too sure, so that's kind of the best thing I can give you. Alright, the last question by my boy ZTL. Who is your favorite Bleach character and why? It's a bit iffy because I have not, like, read the manga at all yet, so, you know, hopefully I can get there soon, because I have watched the anime up to the Fullbring arc, so I'm just right there, but we'll have to see. And I think from what I have watched, honestly, I mean, Ichigo is definitely, I don't know, I'd probably have to put Ichigo as one of my favorites just because of how badass he is and the different things he has done, his different feats. Like, he's just so freaking powerful, it's amazing. I think Stark would have to be up there as well, just because, as they explained it in the fake Kurakata Town arc, I really liked his backstory that they gave him because it was just really good. I really liked Stark from there. I liked him a little bit before, but then, like, after watching that, I was like, this dude is amazing. And then on top of that, you know, with the fight with Shunsui, it made me like Shunsui a lot more just because of his ability. And I was like, it's just how laid back and relaxed he is, but how badass he can be as well. Like, him and Stark kind of share that same quality, and I really do like that. So I would probably, I don't know, maybe I wouldn't put Ichigo above them, I don't know, but I would say my top three, I guess, are Ichigo, Shunsui, and Stark. And then I guess you could throw Rukia in there too, because Rukia is bae. But, yeah. But anyways, guys, that'll wrap it up for this Q&A. I hope you guys did enjoy. Hope you guys knew a little bit more about me. If you guys maybe do have any unanswered questions, let me know. Or if I didn't answer it, you know, great enough, definitely let me know. Maybe I could try and answer it a little better in the comments. But, yeah, like I said, the giveaway will be out the day after this. So hopefully you guys are paying attention to that and see if you guys have won. Like I said, I'm picking 2 winners for 2 $10 cards because it's kind of the best I could do for right now. Unfortunately, maybe down the line if I hit like 1,000 subs or something soon. And I'm actually at 600 right now, nearly. So You know, maybe if I could hit 1,000 soon, I'll be doing another giveaway there. So yeah, well, you never know. We'll have to see. But thank you guys so much for supporting me and supporting this channel for the longest time. For a lot of you guys that I've seen commenting and stuff, and for those of you guys who are new, hopefully you guys just stick around and are, you know, cool with the content that I've been putting out lately. Just putting about, you know, more Bleach stuff, but still trying to keep Dokin there, even though it's been dead lately. But yeah, hopefully you guys do enjoy the content I've been putting out and just keep going on. And yeah, but thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.